It's time for another carrier product update. Tune in as we talk directly to the carriers about their new plans, any new network options they have, or which plan designs offer the most savings, and learn about the tools and resources they offer to help you generate more business. Visit our website to learn about all of the carriers we quote in our Carrier Product Update series.
Hello and welcome back to our Carrier Product Update series. This is a very special edition of our Carrier Product Update series. It's our Q4 Kickoff Summit, finishing up Q4 in 2023, heading into the January renewal season. My name is Jason Powers with Legacy Brokers, and I'm joined today by Amy Angadi Bilbo, sales representative from Kansas City Life. First appearance here in the Legacy studio.
Very exciting.
We are super excited to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. We are a general agency for Kansas City Life. So Kansas City Life is contracted with us to pay us an override, which means that you as the producer get 100% producer credit, as well as 100% of the producer commissions and any other bonus incentives. So it does not cost you or your client anything additional to have Legacy Brokers work on your Kansas City Life proposals. So we're familiar with you as a general agent. You've done a great job of getting our staff introduced to the Kansas City Life product portfolio, but we've got agents out there who have never probably seen any Kansas City Life proposal. They may not get into that ancillary space. So, a 2-minute elevator pitch. What would you describe as your position as a carrier in the market?
Sure. Well, we like to keep it as simple as possible. We are a small carrier. We always say small enough to compete, large enough to care. And our target market is really, we have a product series for 2 to 9 lives, and then for, I'd say 10 to 500, but that everyday sale being under that 100. We love to do multi-lines, so the life, LTD, SD, dental, vision, critical illness, and accident. And the key thing with us is that you have very limited points of contact, which is good. So you have obviously you as the GA, myself, and then our sales coordinator, and then the group is assigned to one administrator, so one bill. So really one point, we kind of wrap ourselves around one point of contact. And I think that's our biggest selling feature in the market is it's very easy to do business with us because we don't have a lot of contact, a lot of points. You're going to myself or that administrator.
Yeah, and we certainly appreciate that. We don't get lost in the maze of pressing 1 or 2.
Yes. Well, and whether you have a group that's 2 lives or 300 lives, they're all treated equally with that one point of contact, which I think that's pretty big in the market because I know that sometimes service gets lost.
That's great. I know you've got a presentation to brokers. There's a little bit more about KC Life here.
Perfect. So who is Kansas City Life? For those of you that don't know, we actually have been around since 1895, but doing group benefits for over 50 years. And I always say, like I said earlier, we are small enough to compete, large enough to care. We offer Midwest hospitality with excellent customer service, which is key. And again, life, LTD, SD, dental, vision, CI, and accident. Some key things, we are fully integrated with Employee Navigator. We can also do the 834 file feed. So these are just some key things that I'm going to touch base on, and then we'll kind of dig into the products. The dashboard is our online service model, so where you can make adds, changes, deletes, print your bill, pay your bill, and we won't do a tutorial of that now, but we can do a quick tutorial later on if you're interested in learning more about our online capabilities. I mentioned the dedicated client service specialist, which is key. Again, the one point of contact. Another thing is that we can do the cannabis industry, which not all carriers will do. So we can do all lines of coverage for cannabis. We just have to make sure they're W-2, they've been in business a year, they have a business banking account. So that
they can't bring cash.
They can't bring cash, no. Yes, we do want a business check and not a personal check. The other thing is obviously multiple year rate guarantees, and I'll kind of get into this a little bit later, and then 1 to 2 year rate guarantees on dental. So that's kind of just the generic overview that we just kind of want to touch base on today, and just obviously give you a quick and skinny on Kansas City Life, and hopefully you'll want to do more business with us.
That's great. Well, let's get right into your presentation then.
Sure. Something that Jason can send you to. This is kind of our cheat sheet. So we have a cheat sheet for 10 plus, which this is the 10 plus, 10 to 500, and then we have a cheat sheet for the 2 to 9. And I'm not familiar. Do you do much 2 to 9?
Yeah, yes. A lot of 2 to 9.
So just know that the purple is the 10 plus, and then I'm going to have Bob go to the next slide and then the green is for the go-to, and that is the 2 to 9. So some key things on the go-to. Obviously, we offer the life, STD, LTD, dental, and vision. We can go down to 2 lives enrolled. It can be offered as employer paid or voluntary. and it's the same product as True Group, just obviously on a smaller chassis, so which we call the Go-To.
Yeah, and if you're watching this online on our website, down below we'll have links to these product grids so that you can actually see those.
Okay. The other key thing, and I'll kind of just point out some key features real quick on the Go-To. On the Life, we can go up to $50,000, all guarantee issue. There is a dependent life benefit that is attached to that as well. Again, all guarantee issue. The STD, key thing on the STD is there's no pre-X, whether it's voluntary or employer paid. So a group of 2 to 9 could come on without pre-X. You can go up to $20 or $1,500 benefit, obviously a 13 or 26 week benefit duration. So great plan designs for small groups. The LTD has a little bit more restrictive of a pre-X. It has a 12,624, but again, it's 60% to 5,000, or if the top 3 salaries qualify, we can go up to a 7,500 max. And again, on a small group these are great plans.
Yeah.
The dental, we have 5 plans that we offer. We can do a MAC, a 90th UCR. We can go down to 2 for orthodontia. So again, it's priced appropriately, but there is a benefit that employers can take advantage of. And the vision, we go down to 2, and that can be with VSP or Davis. So they have the option of either or. But that's just kind of a little bit on the Go-To, and then I'll kind of get into what we offer extra when we go to the next slide.
Yep.
Life and AD&D highlights. So with the Life, STD, and LTD down to 2 lives, we offer the value-added services, and that is through Generali. Generali is in over 200 countries, and kind of what this does is it's an extra service, so it's not so much a benefit as it is a service. But the travel assistance, if you are traveling 100 miles outside of your home and less than 90 days, if you lose your wallet or your license or your glasses, a prescription, your meds, obviously we can assist you in a quicker fashion than you hunting and pecking and trying to find it. The beneficiary companion essentially is if you have a loved one that passes and the estate or the spouse does not want to handle the government documents, Social Security, credit card, the spouse can give us permission to help them cancel and talk to those folks. And then ID theft assistance, basically prevent, detect, and resolve. If you do have something that happens to you, which we all do, we send out packets of information to help you remove yourself from those lists. Anyway, so again, it's just it's free. It's no additional charge. It's automatically included in the rate, which I know we say nothing is free, but it is. It's included in the rate. Yes. Yeah. Obviously, flexible benefit plans, reduction schedules, guarantee issues, 1, 2, 3 times salary, flat amounts on the Life, and obviously it can be offered as employer paid or voluntary. And on the voluntary, kind of some standard plan designs, but increments of 10 up to $500,000. We can do 100,000 GI, 150,000 GI. It just kind of has to make sense for if they have it enforced or the group size. But we do offer a true open enrollment for voluntary life, which is key. So when they do come on, it's a true open enrollment. And then year after year, we have an open enrollment for those that either did not come on or that have come on. So I can pause because I'm talking kind of fast.
So yeah, I want to back up on that. So on voluntary life, we can do a true open enrollment each year. Each year. Not just an incremental.
Sure. So what happens is, obviously the group comes on as a new group is effective with us. So we treat that as new, where everyone can come on, whether they had it before or not from the previous plan, and they can come on up to the GI without evidence. And then let's say year 2, you had some employees waive year 1, they can come on for 10,000. And then employees that were enrolled year 1, year 2, they can increase by 10,000. No evidence of insurability. Now, spouses employees obviously would need to complete the EOI, but the employee does not.
Okay.
So year 2 and 3, it's I would say a modified open enrollment.
Great. That's good.
Disability. So short and long term. I always say we can compete with the big boys all day long. There's just maybe a few differences. But on short-term disability, as far as the customized plan designs, we can go up to 2,000 max. Obviously, again, voluntary or employer paid. Core buy-up, pretty much you name it, we can do it. Again, flexible maxes, it is all guarantee issue. Full scope is who we use for our reinsurer and who helps us adjudicate claims. Their claim filing we can do online, obviously email. We are working to have telephonic claim filing. We do not have that yet, but I'm hopeful by next year we have telephonic claim filing. Pretty quick turnaround time. It's a 2-day acknowledgement, 9-day decision for short-term disability, which most short-term claims are short-term, so It's not take too long, but pretty quick. And we have worked with Full Scope for probably, over 18 years. So I have, obviously, clients and brokers are not calling me when good things are happening. They're only calling you when it's an emergency or a claim hasn't gotten paid. I will say, since I have been with Kansas City Life for quite some time, and we do have direct access to those claims managers to where we can get answers to you if there is an issue that comes up. On the LTD, very liberal contract, no mandatory rehab. We can do an 80/80 up to a 15,000 max, flexible pre-ex, an and or an or definition, unlimited return to work. So the only thing we cannot do on LTD is specialty ONOC. So maybe the lawyers or doctors that have the specialty ONOC contracts, those maybe are not in our wheelhouse. Not that we can't quote them, but we're not going to be able to match that specialty ONOC.
So I'm not a disability guy,
That's okay.
Admittedly. So when you say an and or
So and
definition.
means loss of duties and loss of earnings, and an or would be loss of duties or loss of earnings.
Got it.
Yes. So and there's a little bit of a load for or, but not much. And I'd say in today's market, we're seeing a lot more or definitions. And obviously, when you're quoting, the more information that you send to us, the better. So if you have certs or policies that can show us the details of and intricacies of that contract or certificate, it always helps us so that we can match or try to better that plan design.
Got it. And that's important because that one word is
It is
really important
yes,
in that
it is
contract.
important, yes, as to how it's paid and how they review at claim time.
Because if
Yes.
it's an and, then both conditions have to be satisfied
Correct.
in order for the claim to be eligible.
Correct.
Got it.
And obviously, we have more detailed information, and we're always happy to do another call. We can always do another call or a virtual to go into more detail about disability too. We're always around to help with that.
Great.
With long-term disability, claim turnaround time, it's a little bit more just because it's a long-term claim, so it's going to be a heftier potential claim that's involved, but still 2-day acknowledgement, and our average decision time is about 29 days, which again is pretty typical. Another great feature with LTD is the KEPRO, which is the EAP. It's an actual 5 face-to-face visits per household, so per employee per household. So anyone that's living in the household has access to that EAP. And so that can be for, obviously, you have divorce, depression, anything that they need to have a counseling visit for, they can, it's there for them to be had. We do have a network of counselors based on the area. So they would need to use an in-network counselor. But KEPRO has been around for many years. We've had a relationship with them for several years, and so they've been great to work with. But again, that EAP is nice. And if they want to, if the client doesn't take the LTD and wants to tack the LTD onto another product, they can for 50 cents per employee per month, which is
The
also
EAP on
the EAP onto another product.
I think we've seen
Yes.
that on a life product.
Yep. Yes, I'm sure you have. Yep. And again, the short-term and long-term are offered on voluntary or employer-paid.
Great.
Yes. Okay, dental and vision. We're just moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Okay, dental and vision. The dental, we use what we call the Kansas City Life Dental Alliance, and that network features Dynamax, Connection Dental, Zealous. We'll put our network up against anyone. It's pretty robust, and we can also do a Network 360 report, so we can do some reports that show how we stack up in certain areas against other carriers, which also could help the broker as well as the client so they can see how competitive we are with our network. We average about a 5-day claim turnaround when we're paying the claims. Very flexible product, so flexible max, we can go up to a 5,000 max. Again, it can be offered employer paid or voluntary, high-low, in and out of network, MAC, 90th. We do have the dental reserve account, and that is the rollover feature, so we can quote that with takeover rollover, or you can quote it as virgin coverage, so it just kind of depends on what they have in force. But we do have the preventive rewards options, so we can do an additional cleaning for maternity, teeth bleaching. We obviously, implants would not be considered a reward, but implants obviously
Sure.
can be covered as well. We no longer, I just found out last night before I did this presentation, we no longer have a vision hearing discount, so that should be checked off the presentation. But hopefully that will be replaced with another carrier soon so that we do have that, but we don't have that as of last night when I found out. Anyway, do you have any questions actually regarding the dental?
No, dental's usually pretty straightforward. On the rollover piece of it, I'm sure there's a condition to gotta have at least.
Sure, there is, and we have a handout on that I can give you so you can share with the brokers.
Perfect. We'll have that down below.
But they need to have at least 2 cleanings in a year, and then based on your max, it's kind of based on how you can roll over. So, quick example is if you have $1,000 plan, use less than 500, you have your 2 cleanings, you can carry over $250 into year 2.
Got it.
With Vision, you have the choice of VSP or Davis. You can sell those together. However, if you do, they have to be separate bills. So that's the one time when we would not have same billing. Typically, you sell all lines, one line, two line, it's one bill. But if you decide to do 2 Vision plans, you would have 2 separate bills.
Okay.
With VSP, we use the Choice Network. But again, I know pretty much all the brokers are familiar with Davis and VSP. So flexible benefits, we can go up to 150 max on Vision. Obviously, safety glasses can be used as the frames benefit through Davis. So there's some different caveats to the plans that, again, I'm not going to touch base on everything today, but just knowing that we have it and you can quote it, so
Yeah.
it's good. We also offer accident and critical illness. These were our last 2 products to bring into the market. Somewhat super competitive, somewhat competitive. Obviously, we can do it on a takeover basis, but with the accident, obviously high, medium, and low, it is portable. We can do the wellness benefit. We can go down to 5 lives for accident. For CI, we need 10, but for accident, we can go down to 5. So
Okay.
that is good when you're doing if you have a go-to and you're wanting to offer that. And then on the critical illness, we can actually quote that. The key thing on that is we can quote it as cancer only. So that's
Okay.
also a key feature.
So we can.
We don't have we don't technically have a stand when, a lot of times people will say, or brokers will ask if we have just a standalone cancer benefit. No, but we can quote the critical illness as cancer only. So there are kind of some workarounds on that.
Got it. Fills that void if you need it.
Yes. And on the critical illness, we can go down to 5, but for the critical illness, we need at least 10 eligible in order to go down to 5. So that's that.
Got it.
Yep. Quote request, very similar to what's standard
Sure.
in the marketplace. So this is nothing new. The only thing that we request, obviously, with disability is that we want to make sure we have gender, nature. We need to have gender, date of birth, occupation, salary, number of hours worked, and if there's like a class out. So I know some carriers don't always require occupation or salary, but we still do because we code, and that helps with the rate and helps us break out the group and look at the demographics. So anyway, that may be something that's different with Kansas City
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
Broker commission schedule. Okay, how do you get paid?
Yeah.
So
And this is 100% broker commissions to the producer. These.
Yes, this has nothing to do with the GA.
Yeah.
So these are our standards. So you'll see our standard is a level 10 on life short-term disability and 15% on voluntary life. You'll see go-to life is also included in there, and then a flat 10 and flat 15 on accident and CI. However, our commissions are flexible. We just need to know up front at time of quote. So I would say the highest that we can go up to is 20%. Anything over 20 is not healthy for our rate and probably not sellable. So
Yeah.
as long as we keep it below 20%, we just need to know what they need.
Great.
Yes. And producer incentive, how are you going to write extra?
Yes.
Yes, why are you going to write more with Kansas City Life? Well, because of our producer incentive. And there's still time to hit our bonus, even though we're going into fourth quarter. You'll see up here on the chart, you'll see level 1, 2% of premium. You can write 4 cases with $25,000 or 2 cases with $50,000. So again, $25,000 hits pretty quickly when you're writing dental. I mean, dental,
Yeah, it does.
we love package multi-line sales. So the more that you can, more lines obviously is better. And obviously this is based off of case or premium. So it's not how many lines are with you. This is a pretty easy bonus to understand and hit, I feel. Level 2 is 4% of annualized premium, and it's with 8 cases of $25,000 or 2 cases with $125,000. And then level 3 is 6%. You get 6% payout on what you wrote in 2023. And that's any business written 1/1 of 2023 through 12/31. So as long as you have your 1/1/24 business in-house 12/31, you are still getting paid this year on that bonus. And again, it's 12 cases with $25,000 to hit level 3 or minimum of 3 with $250.
Wow. So we talk about just trying to get to that. Essentially, how big is the bill? How big is the invoice to hit those certain levels? Are there bundling or we talked about trying to package some of those things together? Is there any bundling discounts or package
Sure,
discounts?
we definitely do multi-line discounts. And again, if we quote multi-line and there's 4 lines quoted and you're selling 2, the rates are going to hold. So, but yes, we do multi-line. And it's really not a set percent, I would say. I think it depends on what the individual case needs as
Sure.
to what we need to do to get there to write the business.
So pretty flexible in that regard.
Yes, very flexible.
Good.
Yes.
All good stuff to write more Kansas City Life
Yes.
business. It's
Yes,
great.
Yes.
And then there's our local contacts.
Yes, there's your contact. And Vanessa Shaw Potter is who I work with. She's the group sales coordinator for Missouri and Kansas, and she's great. She's been with Kansas City Life over 20 years, so she also, like me, the ins and outs of Kansas City Life. So it's a great team.
Yeah. Great.
Yes.
So again, all the core products: the dental, vision, life, the disability, the voluntary life, the critical illness, accident. What'd I miss?
Nothing. One bill. So
One
really,
bill.
one bill, one point of contact. Once the group is implemented, implementation is very smooth. We can do I didn't mention that, but we can do census enrollment. We prefer census enrollment versus individual enrollment forms, but we can work with either. So, and the fact that we are integrated with employee navigators, so that does help too.
That's huge.
Yes.
So we'll have links to the supporting collateral. So some of those product grid information, the different flyers that will talk about the products that Kansas City Life offers. We'll have that as below this video on our website, as well as a call to action to run your Kansas City Life proposals. Amy, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you again. Yeah, this was great. Super fun.
Yeah. Hopefully we can build on this and
Yes.
and do it again next year and talk a little bit more about how to maybe some strategic things.
Yes.
To package some of those products together. We appreciate you being here. Any last words of wisdom for brokers as they head out into what a crazy busy season it is?
Go big or go home. Let's go. Let's get some business in the door.
Well, thanks again, and thank you for tuning in. If we can help you with your Kansas City Life proposals, please reach out to our quoting team. Operators are standing by. Happy Q4, happy selling. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching this edition of our Carrier Product Update Series. Visit our website to watch other episodes.